Imagine a time when America was untouched by modern civilization, a time when it was a vast wilderness inhabited by ancient cultures. In the grand tapestry of human history, the story of America begins long before the arrival of Christopher Columbus and his European contemporaries. It begins with the first humans to set foot on this vast continent, the Paleo-Indians, who crossed a land bridge from Asia to North America more than 12,000 years ago. These early pioneers were the ancestors of the diverse Native American cultures that would later flourish across the continent. These ancient cultures were as varied as the landscapes they inhabited. From the Arctic tundra to the tropical rainforests, from the towering Rockies to the sprawling plains, each region gave birth to distinct cultures, each with their unique ways of life. In the frigid north, the Inuit people developed sophisticated techniques to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Meanwhile, in the fertile valleys of the Mississippi, the mound-building cultures erected monumental earthworks that still inspire awe today. But these were not simple, primitive societies. They developed complex systems of governance, intricate trade networks, and advanced agricultural practices. They built cities, created art, and developed sophisticated understanding of astronomy and mathematics. In the southwest, the ancestral Puebloans constructed impressive cliff dwellings and cultivated maize, beans, and squash, the three sisters that sustained their societies for generations. In the east, the Iroquoian and Algonquian cultures developed vast confederacies that maintained peace and promoted trade among their member nations. And in the Pacific Northwest, the Haida and Tlingit peoples created totem poles and other works of art that reflected their deep connection to the natural world. These early cultures laid the groundwork for the complex societies that would later emerge in the Americas. Their legacy is woven into the fabric of today's America, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the human spirit. Their stories remind us that America's history did not begin with Columbus, but with the first humans who dared to venture into the unknown, shaping the continent with their hopes, their dreams, and their indomitable will. These early cultures laid the groundwork for the complex societies that would later emerge in the Americas. Who were the people that first called America home, and what civilizations did they build? Long before the arrival of Europeans, the Americas were home to vibrant and complex societies. Among the earliest and most influential were the Olmec, often referred to as the mother culture of Mesoamerica. Emerging around 3,500 years ago in what is now Mexico, the Olmec were renowned for their monumental stone heads and advanced understanding of mathematics and astronomy. Then we have the Maya civilization, reaching its zenith between the 3rd and 9th centuries AD. Located in modern-day Guatemala, the Maya were masters of architecture, mathematics, and the written language. Their intricate calendar systems, towering pyramids, and mysterious hieroglyphics still captivate scholars today. Further north, the Aztec civilization rose to power in the 14th century. Based in the city of Tenochtitlan, present-day Mexico City, the Aztecs were known for their complex social structures, rich mythology, and impressive architectural feats. At its height, Tenochtitlan was one of the largest cities in the world, with grand temples and bustling markets. Finally, in the mountainous regions of South America, the Inca civilization thrived. With their capital in Cusco, the Inca developed a vast empire that stretched along the west coast of the continent. They were remarkable engineers, constructing extensive road systems and terraced farms, and they were the only civilization in the Americas to develop a form of written language known as Quipu. Each of these civilizations had their own unique cultural traits, innovative technologies, and elaborate social structures. The Olmec with their colossal stone heads, the Maya with their astronomical prowess, the Aztecs with their architectural marvels, and the Inca with their advanced road systems and unique form of writing. These civilizations, with their distinct identities and accomplishments, shaped the history of the Americas. What happened when the Old World collided with the New World? This question takes us to the pivotal moment in history when the Europeans first set foot on the shores of the Americas. The year was 1492, and the man leading the way was an Italian explorer named Christopher Columbus. Columbus, under the patronage of the Spanish crown, set sail across the Atlantic with the intent to chart a westward sea route to the East Indies. Instead, he landed in what we now know as the Caribbean islands, marking the beginning of sustained European contact with the Americas. The arrival of the Europeans, however, was not a cause for celebration for the indigenous people. This was the beginning of an era marked by colonization, a clash of cultures, and an eventual decline of the Native American civilizations. The Europeans came with their own ideas of civilization, religion, and governance, often dismissing and undermining the rich and diverse cultures of the indigenous people. In their quest for wealth and power, they exploited the native populations, leading to widespread disease, violence, and displacement. Yet, amidst the turmoil, there were instances of cultural exchange. The Europeans were introduced to new foods, customs, and ways of life, just as they brought with them their own traditions and knowledge. This cross-cultural interaction, though often fraught with conflict, helped shape the world as we know it today. But the impact of European arrival was far-reaching and profound, forever altering the course of history in the Americas. The indigenous civilizations, which had flourished for thousands of years, faced an unprecedented challenge to their survival. Despite the odds, they continued to resist and adapt, their legacy living on in the vibrant cultures and traditions of Native American communities today. The arrival of the Europeans was a turning point, a collision of worlds that sparked a process of transformation and conflict. It was a moment that marked the end of an era and the beginning of another, setting the stage for the birth of a new nation. The arrival of the Europeans set in motion a series of events that would forever change the landscape of the Americas. How did the United States of America take shape in the aftermath of these tumultuous events? We're about to dive into that. It all began with the English colonies in the 17th century. The initial 13 English colonies were established along the Atlantic coast, with Jamestown, Virginia, being the first successful one. Despite the harsh environment and unforgiving weather, the colonies grew, fueled by a steady stream of immigrants seeking a new life. The colonies thrived under English rule, cultivating tobacco and other cash crops. But beneath the surface, discontent was brewing. Resentment grew over the English crown's interference in colonial affairs, particularly over taxes. This led to the infamous Boston Tea Party in 1773. A defiant act against the English crown that sparked the flames of rebellion. Enter stage left, the Revolutionary War. The colonies, united under the Continental Congress, declared their independence in 1776, drafting a document that would forever change the world, the Declaration of Independence. Penned by Thomas Jefferson, it asserted the colonies' right to self-governance and freedom from English rule. The war was brutal, bloody, and seemingly tilted in favor of the English. But against all odds, the colonies, led by General George Washington, emerged victorious in 1783. The United States of America was born. The Constitution, the backbone of this new nation, was drafted in 1787, establishing the framework for a democratic republic. It was a revolutionary document, balancing power between three branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. Key figures like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson played pivotal roles in the formation of this fledgling nation. Their vision, courage, and determination laid the foundation for a country that would grow to become a significant force on the world stage. This was the birth of a nation that would go on to have a significant impact on the world stage, and thus, the United States of America took its first steps towards becoming the powerhouse that it is today. But that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. So, what does this journey through the ancient history of America tell us? This odyssey through time has unveiled a rich tapestry of history that predates even the earliest written records. Our adventure began in the prehistoric period, a time when mammoths roamed the land and early humans were just beginning to leave their mark on the landscape. These early inhabitants of the Americas were not merely passive observers of their environment, but active participants in shaping the world around them. From these humble beginnings emerged the vibrant Native American civilizations. These societies, diverse and complex, developed sophisticated systems of agriculture, governance, and culture. The story of the Native Americans is a testament to the human spirit, a tale of adaptability, resilience, and innovation. However, this world was irrevocably altered with the arrival of the Europeans. This period marked a time of dramatic transformation as cultures clashed and a new world was forged in the crucible of conflict and cooperation. The Europeans brought with them new technologies, diseases, and ideas that forever changed the face of the Americas. Out of this tumultuous period, the United States was born, a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. The formation of the United States marked a new chapter in the history of the Americas, a chapter that continues to unfold to this very day. Reflecting on this journey, we see an enduring legacy of these events and cultures. The ancient history of America is not a distant memory, but a living, breathing part of the present. From the prehistoric carvings that dot the landscape to the Native American traditions that continue to thrive, from the European influences that shape our institutions to the founding principles of the United States that guide our nation, the echoes of the past resonate in every corner of our lives. The ancient history of America is a fascinating tale of diverse cultures, dramatic transformations, and enduring legacies that continue to shape the nation to this day.